You know, the shame stream media, you know, the propaganda machine of the Democratic Party. If any candidate, Republican candidate, gets out there and starts repeating that stuff, they're part of the problem. So there's your first clue. I tell everybody, when you're listening to the media or you're reading it, anything in the media, look for the three things which I call the liberal sin, S-I-N. They shift the subject, ignore the facts, and then name call. There's your first clue to take that piece of paper and throw it in the fire, or for that matter, change the TV station. But I also have one more thing. It's a public service announcement I have to do. Okay, this is actually from Jill Biden. She says, "For God's sakes, please stop." He thinks his name is Brandon now. Okay.
Let's hear it for Sonny and Leo. And what Sonny just said about the importance of voting, we have got to take back our voting. We have got to restore voter confidence and election integrity in the process. And at the Republican Party of Arizona, partnering with people all over the state, Republicans as well, former Republicans, as well as other people who care about this issue, we are putting together an election integrity army that will be at polling places during the primary and the general. We will be following all the laws. I'm a little concerned when the sheriff of Maricopa County says that he's not going to allow that to happen. That is 100% legal, and we as Republicans must be there. We have over 6,000 shifts to fill in each of those elections in Maricopa County alone. So I hope all of you will go to azelectionprotection.com. That's azelectionprotection.com and sign up to do a shift during early voting or on election day to observe what's happening at those polls, so you can be sure that your vote is counting, as well as your neighbors, your families, and everyone around this entire state. A guy that I know that will do everything possible and has put everything on the line for the integrity of our elections and for the strength of our state to be sovereign is our Congressman Paul Gosar. I believe he is one of the best congressmen in Washington, D.C. We are so blessed to have him. He is a fighter. He is a fearless person. He operates in faith, and he truly, I know he represents me very well the way I want him to, and I believe he represents you the way you want him to. He understands that you are his boss, and here is Congressman Paul Gosar.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. Always a pleasure. What a beautiful day. Blue skies, people smiling. It does a recovering dentist great help. So I'm just going to touch base on what's gone on in Congress lately. You already know what the problems are. You're paying way too much for gas. You're paying way too much for food, even if you can even find the supply chains. So it's about government overreach. We, the people and the state, gave to the federal government limited powers. And that's how we're going to get this back. That's why it's so important to listen to Leo and Sonny, because that's how we're going to make this change. The change is not going to be easy, because what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to hire a damn good, strong governor. Same thing with an attorney general. Same thing with Secretary of State and the legislature. And what you're going to have to do is pick a fight with the federal government. Think about this, for example, on immigration. Wouldn't it be great to have somebody like Ron DeSantis in that office? He's showing us the template of how to get this stuff done. So maybe in Arizona, on the day that they get sworn in on, they declare a statewide emergency. They take the National Guard and make them the Arizona militia. Put them on the border and say, no one goes past go. They do not collect $200. They do not become part of the United States. Not on our watch. Interesting thing happens. Some people have said that you can't do that because of SB 1070. That's false. That's totally false. What's happened on our border is the federal government has abdicated its job. Article 4, Section 4 says that the federal government guarantees protection for the states from invasion. They have abdicated their job. The states have something that we, the people, don't have that we can mitigate this with. It's the Supreme Court of the United States. So why not pick the fight? Why not? We are a sovereign entity. We are a sovereign state. And the governor has to protect us. Same thing with the Attorney General. So what you're going to see out of my office is we're going to be working a lot with the state senators and state legislators to pick that fight, whether it be water, whether it be mining, whether it be energy, whether it be public lands, whether it be multiple use of the lands, whether it be forestry and firefighting. That's our opportunity. Because the state has jurisdictions we don't. Now think of all this melee that's going on. And what does Congress do last week? They tried to take away your Second Amendment rights. A country that cannot defend itself, or a person who cannot defend itself, has no liberty or freedom. That's why the Second Amendment is the Second Amendment. Without the Second Amendment, you don't have a first. You don't have a fourth. You don't have a fifth, and you don't have a 10th. That's what's so important about the Second Amendment. Now, are there things that we could do? Yes. It's called accountability. How is it that the law states that if you commission a felony with a gun, you have to have a certain sentence? Well, then how is it that these DAs and these attorney generals that are backed by George Soros, you can kill somebody and you're turned out with no bail in 24 hours? How do our police officers or law enforcement have a chance in that kind of a realm? That's why we have to be honest with ourselves. We sit in a community, a country right now that's communal, Marxist, fascist in entity. Pick your sin. This is where patriots have to stand up. It's called accountability. We have to demand it of the justice system. The chaos has been created by the federal government. Look at who's paid the penalty for Fast and Furious, Benghazi, the IRS, unmasking American citizens. How about Hillary Clinton's emails, although that may be coming? How about Russiagate, Ukrainegate, Bidengate, and Obamagate? Nobody. And then we allow people to steal from businesses $1,000 and get a mere slap on the wrist. That's called chaos. But there's a good thing about chaos. Chaos is the time in which greatest things can be accomplished very fast. You have to have the mindset, you have to have the idea, you have to have the willpower, and the strategy to get people involved. That's what we got to do. That's why I love coming up to your community, because you're very involved. And we got to stay involved. I don't know about you, I am sick and tired of following. It's time for Arizona to start leading. It is part of our DNA. Let's go back to President Taft. We petitioned for the first time to become a state. We wanted to be able to recall federal judges. He said, nope, you can't do that. So what did we do? We reapplied, took it off. Once we were accepted, we put it back in. So it's in our DNA. Imagine for one second. Think of Ron DeSantis as governor in Florida. A very strong governor right here in Arizona. And Governor Abbott in Texas. Now what you're doing is you're really empowering the states in a cohesive manner. There's plenty of other ones that want to step up. They just need to be led. I think we're that state. I think it behooves us to do that. I'm one of those people that supports Kerry Lake. I'm one of those people that want to see a hard stand in regards to America first, Arizona first. Folks, the last thing I want to say is tonight we got a little town hall, so we'd love to have you at 5:30 at the Sheriff's office, Marshal's office. And bring your questions. I love questions. And as a dentist, I do kiss and tell. So thanks for having such a beautiful day for us. Thanks for all the smiles. I got to tell you, it really does make a difference. When you think you can, you know you can, and then you can. It goes to a lot of willpower here. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. Give him another round of applause, because he does a great job. The left